Hello, you're listening to Who Agrees with me, Paul Black.
And me, Kendra McPherson.
And we are joined by my two favourite comedians in the world. Can I say that?
That's a lovely
Can I say that?
compliment.
The wonderful Amanda Dwyer and Susan Riddell. Woo! I don't say that to everybody, by the way.
But
We've only had one comedian on, so.
Sorry, I've no listened to your podcast.
Move.
Good.
I was like, we're going on Paul and Kendra's podcast. She went, oh, what's the format?
That's
I was like,
nice.
there's none.
Well, that's
lucky.
good for a non-listener. There is no format, so do what you want.
I know. It's so bad because Fern Brady's just started a podcast where Alison Spittle,
Oh, yeah.
and she listens to us all the time.
I've been
and she
listening
sent me
to
hers like early before it got released, and I've still not listened to it.
She's still not watched Gavin Fair Queen.
No, I watched it the other night.
Oh,
Right, okay.
thank
Delete.
you, thank you.
It was really
The
good.
best pal is in that.
I know, but I'm too busy like watching geopolitical
Geopolitical
stuff about the Iran war and that.
I get
Nice, good
that.
save.
Right,
Good
yeah.
save. You
Susan-
don't have time for frivolous shit.
You don't. You actually don't. I
really
admire
don't.
that about your
Fucking-
Instagram.
No, I actually need to lighten up a wee bit, so I'll start.
Right,
This
so
is
that-
you starting.
Am I?
This is you starting to lighten up. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go on this shite podcast for a bit of comic relief. Literally.
No, I know it's true. Look, so remember comedy you did before all this?
Aye, before I became
Before you
a
were a
political
martyr.
prisoner.
You're our first political prisoner.
I know.
We've had
See, I
on.
always thought I would be a political prisoner for another thing, though.
Aye, what thing?
Specifically, right? You know how Fraser's in the tune?
Yeah.
Is that still there?
I used to work there, so keep it
Shoplifting.
going.
Jesus.
Yes.
I was a perfume sprayer in there.
When?
Well, fucking, like, I was like
Wait, I'm sorry. How is that a
18.
job?
a perfume sprayer.
Aye, do you sell it?
People would you try and like punt perfume to them?
Did you work on a perfume counter or were
No.
you just a sprayer? Yeah, because I used to work on a perfume counter, not in Fraser's, though, at a separate
These are
venue.
different jobs.
I know what the hell.
Yeah.
Well, I was an agency.
Oh.
So
Ah,
we would
oh,
get,
heard of it.
we would get brought in at Christmas and like try and sell perfume to people, but I wasn't very good at it.
What, with the wee paper, the wee wafters?
Aye, but like sometimes trying to spray it on them.
You're the
That's
type of person I'd walk right
assault.
past.
That is assault.
It was.
Aye.
Susan, you'll know the, well, I hope you know the age-old rule of never rubbing the fragrance because it bruises the scent.
No, I
Common
actually never knew that.
misconception.
It breaks up.
I actually
the
done that this
somethings.
morning.
Everyone does it. You see every single person you go, oh, try this, whatever, they put perfume on and they'll immediately rub. That actually bruises the scent.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, you
What
shouldn't
does
do
that
that.
mean, though?
It just means that it doesn't give you
Good
the
point.
correct. Yeah, that's a good question. And I, as a fragrance seer, will tell you, it just breaks up like the intended smell.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
the
mean? Let it
intended
settle. Let it be as it should be.
Right.
Susan
And
will tell you that.
It can smell different on different people. and
Yeah.
all.
Was your
Oh.
pheromones?
Yeah,
Aye.
absolutely.
I was just thinking of BO.
Yeah.
Like, it just-
Have you heard of Molecule
Your
1?
smelly pits.
Molecule 1. Is
Who's
that?
that?
It's
Oh.
that
That was.
a space cadet.
Who's
Molecule 1.
that? Molly.
It's a fragrance that smells differently on everyone because it reacts to your pheromones and like your general vibe.
Oh,
Right.
imagine.
Are you a layer? Do you layer your scent?
I don't, but I know this is quite a famous thing.
Aye.
That I'm a wee bit nervous to do that in case it's a bit too
It's just a marketing thing.
intense. Yeah, because then
To
you just
buy
buy
more.
more.
You
Aye.
buy
Yeah.
5 perfumes now and layer them all. It's a lot of shit.
Why did you think that Fraser's would make you a political prisoner? Sorry.
Sorry, like you're probably what? I can buy more things.
No, actually never. One thing I never buy is perfume. All the perfume that I've got is for my auntie. I hope she won't mind me saying this because this is like a wee secret.
She
we
does
have.
listen.
She,
Unlike
she
Susan.
will.
Steals it.
No, my uncle will buy her perfume. She'll hate it, and then she'll message me saying, "Do you want a bottle of Gucci Flora?"
That's nice because I
How
would
good
have
is
just
that?
say, "Please."
I like second-hand gifted you.
Instead of ever
also-
just saying, communicating to him, here, by the way, all this perfume
don't
you
like
buy me, I
it.
don't
Yeah.
fucking like it.
By the way, that's stinking.
Because that's not
Um,
shit perfume either.
no,
That's
it's
decent.
good.
But if you don't like it, you don't
so
like
like
it.
I'd say like once every year or two, I'll get a bag full of like discarded scent products that are beautiful. She also got me one of the scent. You know how you can get like the makeup boxes, what they called like.
Or from like Beauty Bay and stuff.
Aye,
They give you
but
like a
there's
wee
scent-
mixture.
There's a scent one now, and she got me one for my birthday there, and it was like full of all different wee perfumes and big ones,
nice.
and it was gorgeous.
That is nice.
And-
But I'll never buy myself perfume.
But Susan, I want to know why you felt like a political prisoner.
I backed him my original because now it changed hands. Fraser's like changed hands, so it did.
All right.
Right, so I had vouchers, but then they changed hands.
Was this when it went to Sports Direct?
Aye,
And the cruel
Sports
Mike
Direct,
Ashley.
that's
I
right.
wasn't there at that point, but my mum actually was in another branch, and
Aye.
it was quite the furore.
Aye, well, I had vouchers, but then they were like, oh no, you can't use these anymore because that's like the old company. So I was like, I'm gonna just go in and like blatantly steal something and like hopefully like get arrested.
To the same value as the guy.
Hopefully
Aye,
get
to the same
arrested.
value as me, and then like be put in jail and like, but I'll be like, everybody will be on my side
Oh,
for this.
aye.
Absolutely.
And there was actually a woman, because there was a big like uproar about this. She had like ordered a couch or something, and something went wrong with that. Because like the changing it over to like Sports Direct, and then she got her like 4 sons to go in and just take a couch out. Like they just took a couch out of Fraser. Honestly,
Quite
it was
right.
on like fucking Richard and Judy or something. Like she was on just pure.
No,
I
but
got my
that's
son.
fair. You do. You know what we don't do enough of, taking matters into our own hands.
Well, I know.
That's a lost
Well,
art.
Well, speak for yourself.
I do always say, see, when I think about how much in this day and age we're always like, oh yeah, I want to do this and I want to do this, or I'm angry about that, but we don't. Not enough of us. I won't say we all don't take action
Can't relate.
when we need to. How much can you talk about things like that, or want to talk about things like this?
Well, I'll just, you can edit out anything that's going
Aye.
to incriminate me.
Aye.
Later.
Yeah, we will, but we need to
Cut
know what
to-
that is.
The whole podcast.
This is going to get used in court against me.
No, well, obviously, do you know what we can do? We can pivot this way. You have a brand new show at the Glasgow Comedy
Yeah,
Festival.
nice.
And what is its title, Susan?
Anyone else struggling with the work genocide balance?
Yeah, it's a good title.
Very good. Title.
Very good
It's actually
title.
no,
Seen our flyers?
I can't take credit for it. It was a bit of graffiti that was going about. And I was like, that's
That's
Sums
good,
it
aye.
up, actually.
Aye. So well, for those people that don't know, I mean, some people came, we did the Palestine fundraiser last year, and I think you told this story that wasn't long after the events, maybe. I don't
my
know.
little incident.
Your little incident is a good way of...
Right, so what I will say is I allegedly drove into a weapons factory. I'm allowed to say that, but I'm not allowed to get into any more detail.
Okay, yeah,
that's good enough, and you allegedly
Perfect
did that.
summation
Aye.
of the alleged event.
Allegedly. I
Aye.
mean,
Aye, and will we leave it there for that? And
just to give people a bit of context in
Aye.
case they're like, what the fuck is she talking
Yeah, why
about?
we
Aye.
introduced her as a political prisoner and said nothing else.
So now,
that would be interesting.
Start talking about perfume.
never
Guess what?
reference it again. No, so ever since then, that was in July, ever since then I've been under like a curfew, so I need to be in at 7 o'clock every night. And I'm not allowed to get into Edinburgh. They barred me for Edinburgh.
That's
Sounds
perfect.
epic.
Sorry. When I don't know, can I talk about this? When you were in the terrorist centre,
Aye.
me and Paul were outside but protesting.
We were.
You're wrong for it.
Aye, you messaged me saying thanks for
Can't
coming.
remember.
It was all a blur.
Aye, I was there.
Honestly,
I was there all day.
The amount of people that sent me messages, it was,
Aye, I
that
know
was
you
the
would
worst
be.
bit about everything, having to
Uh-huh.
answer like, all the messages.
You're like, I hope nobody knows about this or tries to reach out.
Honestly, like admin is
It
like...
was so funny though. See, and also, do you know what made me not to be cheesy for a minute, but it actually made me so like have faith in the world was when we were outside when you were locked up, when
Won't
you
let
were
me out.
when you were, and I want sound. Lorenzo, can you add sound effect of like the start of Orange is the New Black? But when you were locked up, and we were, it's the amount of people that turned up
I
outside,
know.
and we just sat, and I was like, oh, people actually do care.
Wouldn't it be me? Thanks. No, that was actually really, really nice. It was nice.
Me going, aye, it was nice.
It
Yeah,
was
well-
nice of yous.
But
Thanks.
Amanda, what
Yous
we got,
are
I'm
real
thinking I
haters.
know where you were going.
When I was on the phone to your lawyer and they were saying, right, she is getting out tonight or whatever, but I feel like I should let you know. It was like, maybe don't tell anybody, but because you work where I feel this directly impacts you, she's barred for Edinburgh. Right? And I was like, right. I was like, I'll not tell a soul. And then I was actually like, but I need to tell Paul. And I was like, Paul. I was like, guess what? We were just like,
Is the ban is it you know, is there a time frame on this, or is
Well,
it just
I'm going to go to
ongoing?
trial and then like they'll decide what happens
Yeah.
after that. But when like they said that we weren't allowed in Edinburgh, there was a big discussion about what is Edinburgh. Like a big
Oh
like
yeah,
is it?
define it.
aye, and they couldn't define it.
Really?
Aye.
Can you go to North
Loophole.
Queensferry?
Well, this is the thing. They were like trying to define where like actually it starts and stops.
You do one to
Had a mental image of you in all different little kind of coastal areas near Edinburgh, but not quite just in a
Aye.
way.
And another thing was they took my car as evidence, right? And then
I understand
they
why.
put it in like a pound after, like, and phoned me, and they were like, right, you can come and get your car now. We're kind of done swabbing it or whatever they do. So I had to go and get my car, but my car was in somewhere like Edinburgh-ish. So I was like, how the fuck am I going to? Basically,
Another hurdle.
if I never had, my brother took me, but if I had to make my own way there, I would have had to have got the train to Edinburgh to get to this
Oh
place.
yeah, that's interesting. You don't think
Aye.
about those layers to things
Yeah.
it does actually.
But see, when you're asking
Police
them, right,
waiting at the place like
Spot
surprise.
but honestly, when you're asking them, they're pure, but it's not a problem. But when it's in the pound, it's like 30 quid a day. So
Aye.
they just pure get you into these like weird catch-22
Yeah.
situations, like, and you're like,
Well, it's all these like things that you would never have had to consider before
Aye.
that you now are.
aye.
And a 7 o'clock curfew. And there's part of me that would like that a
wee
wee bit.
It feels
a
very
wee bit.
COVID-y. So
Yeah.
it does.
Do you? And how long has that been the case?
Fucking July.
Also in the summer as well, when you would
Aye.
be feeling a little bit like I want to hit the street.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Summer night.
Well, that's the problem. She was hitting the street a bit too hard.
The main thing is I can't gig.
No, because every gig is like every gig that you would do in Glasgow and Edinburgh is nearly always starts at 7. at
Also,
least.
even when we were discussing today,
Aye.
I was like, right, well, we can do like during the day stuff or like after work, blah, blah, blah. And Paul was like, well, no, they have
Aye,
to
we
be
can't.
during the day because Susan can't come.
Soz.
No, but
Don't
thank
be
you for
silly.
spending some of your freedom.
Exactly. I know. Thank you so much.
Valuable daylight hours.
I know it's getting on my nerves now. Like to
Yeah,
start
is it
with,
wearing a
'cause
bit thin?
I'm a hermit. Like I will stay in the house. Like I'm fine, but like no, I'm just.
Well, it's affecting your income, obviously, because
Aye.
you cannot do the hours that you do do.
So is your show during the day?
I
I won't need
The matinee job.
3:20.
Right, tell us the details and plug it.
The 28th of March at 3:20 p.m. In the Glasgow stand.
Fantastic.
Aye, so
We'll check it out.
I feel like I've pure hogged. I feel like it's all about me.
I was
always
about to
about
pivot
you.
very
No, we'll move
nicely.
to it, we'll
I was
get
about to
the
pivot.
flow.
Right, that's enough of you.
Political
pivoting on
prisoner
to-
silencer again.
Yeah, right. That's Susan's just been taken away right now to go back home. So we're going to move on to Amanda. Amanda, when is your show? Plug it.
Oh, I've got 2 shows.
Oh, I hate when people have
I
two
know,
shows.
Sorry.
Why?
No, no. Wait, why do I hate when people have two shows? No, because I hate. What I meant to say is when I hate to have multiple things to promote at
Oh,
once.
right.
Aye,
Oh, so
aye.
you meant like
Aye,
you were
no.
like empathetic.
Aye.
Aye.
You want to
So you
just
were
like,
like you just hate
Fuck
the
off
fact
with
you
your
had
two
two things
shows.
to
Like,
like.
your 2 shows.
One of them's not even really, well, it's a work in progress show, but I've not even really wrote it yet. I've got 2 weeks.
I've decided to stop saying I've not really wrote it yet about things because I think it's bad marketing. But it's true. It's the
I
truth.
like to be honest.
It's the truth. I
In
say
the
that.
interest of transparency.
Don't expect a written show when you've done the show because you're not getting one.
Do you know what I just remembered. Do you remember? I can't remember. I think it was an episode where Elaine C. Smith, or it could have been somebody else. Amanda messaged me after, and she said, I was listening to your podcast episode, and there was a bit where I was speaking about Amanda doing stand up, and I said it's amazing because like she taught me you can just like sit in silence for like 10 minutes and then at the end you get that laugh and it's worth it. And she's like, I don't get a laugh for 10 minutes.
It's like 10 minutes. I was like, Paul, you'll make me we sound like the worst comedian ever.
I know, doing a
That sounds
10-minute
social
slot.
You're
experiment.
dying on my hole for one, we laugh at the end, then be like, worth it. Bye.
Yeah, so just to clarify, that's not the case. 10 minutes is an
Maybe you
exaggeration.
meant, were you referring to the power of the pause?
Yes, I was
Which I'm a
referring.
big believer
and
in.
and the being able to sit in the silence, and I was giving Amanda lots of compliments on how much I love her stand up.
Yeah,
I know.
you always
But
do.
it does read quite bad when I listen back.
On a transcript, it reads bizarrely.
I'm going, it's
yeah.
amazing with Amanda Dwyer because you go and see her show and you just don't laugh until the 55th minute.
What marketing is this?
That is such a powerful thing to be able to do, because I feel like it's taken me so long in any walk of life to learn how to pause and not just boom, 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 because
Aye.
I'm
Fill
such
the
a boom, boom,
silence.
boomer. Yous are very powerful pausers.
Yeah.
Yous are.
Awkward
And
freaks.
it's such a compliment. I
This is so
admire
weird.
it so much in people
Nice.
because to me, since I've got older, there is like I notice it when someone is just speaking to speak, and that definitely would have been me in previous. No, I've like I am guilty of it
Aye.
myself. So now when I take the power of pause, I'm like,
Power of
value
pause.
that.
Power of
Say
Should I
pause.
call your show that?
Power of pause.
Next one.
The
Why
power
is
of
it any
pause.
thought that any time we go, should call your show that? See when you were charged, I don't know if I can do this with, what was it? Malevolent mischief.
Malicious mischief.
Malicious.
And I went, that's
That's
the
the
your
charge.
next fridge. I was like, that's pure
That
off
sounds
of
like
a court
malevolent
jester.
ass.
What is
Disney
it? Sorry,
Plus type
malevolent
joke.
mischief.
No, it's malicious.
Malicious. But I was,
Malicious.
see when we were together, I was calling it 45 different times. Every
Malicious
time I brought it up.
mischief.
He was like, mental man.
Mischief managed.
Mayhem. I called it something mayhem. It's something mischief and mayhem.
You are so not
The
malicious.
Ministry of Mayhem.
Well, I'm according to Scots law.
Yeah.
Malicious
Yeah,
So I
mischief.
can charge
indeed.
with terrorism and malicious mischief.
Double homicide.
Damn.
I
No,
know.
no, literally not.
Aggravated malicious mischief.
Was it?
Aggravated
Oh,
malicious.
don't get it twisted. It's aggravated.
It was
mayhem.
aggravated by terrorism.
What are you going to do next, Amanda?
No, come on.
Give us something.
I work in a secondary school.
All right, okay, nice.
Yeah, with kids with additional learning needs, and I love it.
And how funny is it you think that people don't like see in school when you would just see your teachers and you're just like they're
They
nothing
don't have a
but
life.
aye, they're nothing but my teacher, that their full life have always been my teacher. And they were just see when you get older and you meet teachers, you just go, they were just
Do you
doing
know,
hundreds of
so
things.
this is
Getting on it.
I am
you.
fascinated by that concept, because when I think back to now being younger or a teenager, when I had like younger teachers, they would probably
The
be about
hot
like
ones.
my age now, like younger ones, and I like the thought of them doing anything that I would do or
Do
think
now.
or feel would just be totally out the question. And then the other day at work, I was like, I can't believe this came full circle. I was like away on a work trip or whatever, and one of the people that we deal with, it's like an external person that's on a course that we do, right? And he turned around to me and he went, what do you do like when you're like not doing this? And I went, what do you mean? And he went like, you know, like when you're not like here, like on this like trip with us, like what is it you do? And I started like giving him my job spec basically. And he went, oh, right. He's like, you know, you feel to me like, you know, like when you see a teacher somewhere else and you just can't believe that they're not in the classroom. And I was like, where the fuck is this going? What does this
And
say
also
about
that
me?
man
What does
clearly
this mean?
just met you.
Yeah,
so
I
what
was
the
like,
fuck are you
what's going
talking
on?
about? Well, you've got lots going on around teaching.
Do you think any of your pupils, like, are they familiar with your other
One of,
What?
yours
interests?
one of them is always in the comments.
really?
He's an ex-pupil. He's
Oh,
an
is he
ex-pupil.
away now?
That's
Aye.
allowed. You
Aye.
can be sat
But
with
as
them.
I've
Like, I was like, the lines are
Aye,
so blurry
blocked.
between your endeavours. Like, what's like what could be classed as like unprofessional or whatever when you work
I think
in that
everything
sector.
every day.
Really?
I'm just waiting on them
Aye.
finding me, to be honest. I really am.
That will be it. That might be the
Here we
final
go.
straw.
This is the one. This is
Aye.
the one.
I don't know. I mean, I just treat it like I'm like Hannah Montana.
Yeah, the two
I've got
lives.
two separate lives. I don't mix them, and hopefully it stays that way.
Just start mixing them. So just start doing stand up and just try
in
to
the
see. Do
class.
you know what's scary doing a work in progress? Do you know what's not scary? Just trialing it out with a few pupils.
Aye,
Pups.
with
But-
first year students,
Yeah, I was going to say, do you feel like working
Tough
with kids
kids.
though really like toughens you up in terms of
it really does.
bravery?
Like
Uh-huh.
I'd rather die on my ass for an hour than like have beef with like a 13-year-old.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
have you seen
absolutely.
adolescents?
Vicious.
Fuck that. No chance. I always wanted to be a teacher, and I watched that, and I just thought, you know what?
Nah.
Love it.
There's too many additional things you need to do
Too many
apart from
fires
this.
to fight.
Aye.
Wayne's say mental, like Wayne's have said things to me like I remember he's away now, but we had a boy who said to me once, I can't remember. I was scaring him. He was bad. He was a bad Wayne. And I was like, don't be like that. And he said, Miss, one day I'll be bigger and stronger than you. And I was like, okay.
He's gonna kick
You've been like,
fuck
that's
out
not
you.
really my credentials that I go by, but okay.
I was like, okay. I think I've just been threatened.
Yeah.
That's so ominous.
I know.
When you don't know what day it's going to be, but one day I will be bigger and
I
stronger
know,
than you.
so I've been like pure training for
Aye,
when
in case.
it comes back.
I would be
been pure
scared though, because that's something you take. Training to fight an
I run
11
2 kilometers a day.
So what's your
Fucking run
show
away from-
called?
All right, it's called Better Than Revenge. It's
Better
about
Than Revenge.
revenge.
It's about revenge.
It's got a revenge porn story in it.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
that sounded like I was excited by that. What was the correct response there?
More like an interesting. Oh.
Lorenz was adding in sound effects anyway. It's going, woo.
I've wrote half of that, and then I've got my other show, which is last year's Fringe show.
I did something bad.
I did something bad.
Dates and location.
22nd of March, Sunday 22nd of March at the Stand at 3 p.m.
I've heard so. But is that the one that you did at the Fringe?
Aye, it's
Yeah.
all about miscarriage.
I've heard
really.
like so many amazing things about your show, and I
Oh,
haven't seen it,
that's
so
so
I'll need to
nice.
come along and see it because I've heard so many different people talking about
I'm
it.
really proud of it, actually.
Is this one you got online?
No,
What
that
one
was
is it?
my OCD.
Oh, what you think?
You've
Right,
seen that
I
one.
have.
You
Aye.
read that one.
Have I not seen I did something
You've not
bad?
seen I did
Oh no,
something.
fuck, well, I'll be coming.
Yeah,
I'll be
there.
coming. I'll be coming to see I did something. But I do really love both your stand up, and I'm glad that you have a podcast called Material Girl.
Yeah.
Listen to now, and Material Girl is also this is Plug City, man. I'm just
know.
going to let's keep. That's what it's about.
Because
See,
you've not had an advert this week, you're choking.
it's true. I'm like,
Thanks
oh,
once
somebody
again.
advertise something. Fuck's sake. I'm getting uneasy. You guys also run Material Girl, which is a monthly all-female lineup.
Yes.
How long have you been doing Material Girl for?
How long has it been? 3 years?
Nearly 4 years.
4 years?
Wow.
Did you start your podcast before or after that? 'Cause
After.
it's such a good
we
title.
thought-
Companion pod.
After.
It's
we thought
such a good title.
We'll use the podcast to promote the night, and then
Aye.
nobody listens to the podcast. But we do
Nobody
it
comes.
anyway.
No, we've got like 12 really faithful listeners.
No,
I
I'm
see
a,
even if
I'm a
that's true.
faithful clip engager.
Yeah,
I'm
me
a little
too.
bit like you, Susan. Right? It's so bad to say, and it also sounds a bit bizarre when you do a podcast show. But I actually don't
You
listen
don't want to listen
to many
to
podcasts, but
kinda-
not because I dislike it. I just don't seem
It's
to
a
do
commitment
it.
I
Aye.
feel as well
Yeah,
that
but
I don't have.
always engage with like clips from podcasts of people that I
Aye.
know that I would like it if I did sit down to listen to
That's
the full
true, and I
thing.
think every time I see a clip from Material Girl, I'm laughing and I'm liking it, and then I'm like, I should go and listen to an episode in full.
But
and I don't. But I don't think it's exactly what Kendra said. I don't
But
do
I'm
it with
like
any
that
podcast.
across the board though, which is strange and probably a bit self-indulgent seeing as we're trying to peddle our own podcast.
Aye.
But
But
yeah,
no, I
don't
get it. I
dabble.
feel like if I think you're a maker of podcast, or you're a listener of podcast. How about that? Does that sound
Aye.
bad?
Well, I'm both.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's fucking wrong. then.
Aye,
I'll
but I
just
don't
shut
want
up
to be
and
listening
die.
to comedians.
I know
No.
that's my thing as well,
Aye.
I'm
except for
listening
you.
to like haunted house podcasts.
Oh, do you
and
like
stuff that.
the what's the one?
podcast?
Yeah, no, I know the one.
favourite
I know what
genre.
you're trying to say, but I don't.
Uncanny.
Yes.
Oh, aye.
I've heard a lot about
and a new
Uncanny.
one called
Is Daisy-
Otherworld. It's
Is
so
Daisy
good.
May Cooper do one of them? No.
She was on one.
Oh,
She was on a
she
special.
Because she did
Okay.
that series with Charlie
Aye.
Cooper about going to haunted
They love
locations, which
ghosts.
I really
She saw a
enjoyed.
ghost in her house that it was just like, but it was just a wee pair of legs running about.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
So
I want
to believe.
to, but like I listen to these stories and I believe the stories, but I think just because I've no seen a ghost, so
Would you want to see one?
no.
Neither
How do you
I.
But
feel
I
about
heard the
ghosts?
ghost once.
oh,
See, I'm right in. I'm in a rabbit hole of like similar thing, you know, on YouTube, like near death experiences. I'm right
Nice.
into that.
I love that as
Nice.
well. I used to watch Near Death Experience compilation part 16 on YouTube.
Part
It's
16.
so
It's getting
good.
a bit boring now.
I
so
Oh,
you've seen them
I
all.
went
Boring.
there,
And
When
also then you
God's
start
like-
going, that one was shite, and then you go back trying me, I'm watching a near death experience and saying it was shite.
Not good enough.
Aye.
I'm
Go
like that with true
closer to
crime.
death, please.
I do that all the time. Like, I love this true crime YouTuber called Kendall Ray. And but see when she's saying a story about a guy, I'm like, nah.
It's a
I'm
bit
like boring. Don't
Flappy.
care.
Aye.
Like,
I'm
so-
having a a ghostly experience at the moment that's kind of ongoing, but I'm not sure what to make of it. So I've just moved into a new flat, and I'm now doing things differently so it doesn't happen. But each morning when I've been going through it in my bathroom, and I'll leave the bathroom door open, I keep seeing, I don't know how to describe it, like a kind of like just a small black, like not even a figure, but like a shape, a movement out the corner of my eye in the exact same spot each morning. So now I've just started like closing the door to try and offset it potentially happening, but it's in the same spot every morning, and I feel like it is something, but I'm just taking a warm approach rather than a approach. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I feel like I can manoeuvre and
I think
engineer
that's
this
good
vibe.
though, because if you that just shows the power of just ignoring something.
Well, it's not even. I know it's not even ignoring it. It's
the
more
ghost.
just I'm
Ghosting
choosing my
the ghost.
reaction to it
Right.
because I
Aye.
think that's when poltergeists and shit start. If you start
Aye.
screaming,
That's what they say on all these podcasts.
Oh,
It's
really?
Like, don't give it,
the attention it
don't
wants.
show it fear. Just be like, all right.
I would be
Sometimes
like
they are
that.
malicious, like Susan.
I would
Sometimes
be-
they're not. They're just a presence that's there.
I would
Do you
be
get
insane.
like a vibe off it?
You know what I get? What I always notice in my body and my mind if I'm engaging with something spiritual or otherworldly, right? Which isn't like daily, but has happened a few times. I just know in my chest and in my mind that's worth noticing. Do you know what I mean? So like, see
Aye.
if I have a particularly like vivid dream or experience in my dream, but it feels like it happened when I wake up. I'm like, I know that I'm supposed to take note of that. Like I know that that was something remarkable.
Aye.
When this happens, it's happened like maybe like 3 or 4 times. I've only been in there a couple of weeks. When this happens, like I'm registering that as something that isn't, you know,
Right.
not noticeable. Like it's something that's noticeable.
Do you live alone?
No, I live with my boyfriend, but I tried
Right.
to speak to him about it the other night and he just went, shut up! We actually just had some technical difficulties there, which I think might have been the presence of the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It definitely
it
is.
stopped my mic.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't get the chance to share or explain or seek solace from my boyfriend because he just told me to shut up, basically, which, by
He's
the
in-
way, would never happen in any other context. I wouldn't allow that. But he really was just like, I don't want to
I used
hear
to be
about
like
that
that.
if I'm going to be in the house by myself,
Aye.
which I do get. I've not spent a night alone there yet. It doesn't feel particularly haunted, but I have a hunch
Aye.
now.
Yeah.
I don't find ghosts scary, right? Because I'm not
I
trying to
used
be
to.
hard, but I'm like, I don't find them scary because it's not a physical thing. Like if a random person of it like showed up in my house, I'd be scared, right, in the middle of the night and was trying to kill me and all that. But if a ghost, like I'm so interested in being like, how are you? What have you seen in
Aye.
your life?
Let's have a chat.
How are
So
you?
you're lonely. That's what you're saying.
like, what have you been through? Let's
You're
just.
like, please visit me.
I would genuinely engage, and I always wanted a Ouija board as a child, right? And I was never allowed one. Fair enough, but like my dad was obsessed with being like drilling into me that the worst thing I could do in my life was get a Ouija board because he was like
He's
a Christian,
right, though.
right? And he was like, if you ever invite these evil spirits in, they'll come. And I was
Yeah.
like, right, okay. So I went through a phase of being really scared of Ouija boards, and like it's kind of alright because you don't really
Somebody
come across them.
mention one, you'd be like, I was a bit like that.
And has anyone ever had a shot at a Ouija board?
No.
Me and
I
my
want
pals
one.
tried to make one, like just cut out all the letters and the yes, no, and all that. and then
DIY my Ouija board with me.
Come with
Yeah.
me. And it was nothing happened, obviously.
My mum used to be quite engaged with them when she was like a teenager. Her and her sister would use them often, but they would try and invite in I can't say her name because it is a real woman, but a figure of terror at their high school that they were very scared of.
And was she alive?
She was a peer, yeah.
But she was alive when they were trying to
and
invite
they
her
would
in
be
with
like,
the
and
Ouija
like
board.
move it to say like, I wish I could say her name because it makes it so much funnier. But they would move it to say, and then they would like move the letters. And then my mum said one time we looked in the TV screen and it was off, and we just saw her in it, and we all screamed. And ran away. And I was like, that is completely fictitious. You totally made that up. That I hate to be that cunt that says that didn't happen, but that didn't
No, that
happen.
definitely happened. Even I could
I wish
say
I
with
could
no
say her name. I'll
knowledge.
tell you off mic because it really adds some
Isn't who I
panache.
think it is,
Yes,
is it? Is it?
yeah.
Oh, it's such a good name.
Just say it. Say it.
No, I can't.
No, I was going to do it, but I mean, it's
There is
me.
no way that woman listens to this podcast. I
She
know
might.
that for a fact.
As long as you don't clip it, nobody listens
I
to
don't-
you.
I was like, but you know what? It does
No
shock
one
me
gets
that
this,
people
this far
listen.
through.
But listen, you will have loyal material girl listeners,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what you think. Like, I think the
Aye.
people love listening to shit and being invested in stuff. And I read people love duos. people are invested in duos that are
Nice.
friends. That's the.
You're our first podcasting duo we've had on.
Yeah,
actually.
you're our first
Yeah.
fellow. No, Chris was
One
on last
minute,
time.
Yeah, but as a duo,
Yeah, you're our first podcasting duo.
See, that's funny because I like to listen to people who are alone and talk off the top of their heads.
Really?
I like Blind Boy.
Aye.
Well, he plans it on all that, and I used to listen to Bill Burr. I don't really
Aye.
dig him anymore, but
Dig him?
Jen Kirkman as well.
Oh,
I love
aye.
Jen.
Just people just talking to themselves.
Aye.
it's quite a feat doing that, isn't it? Because I feel like I could definitely sit and talk to myself, but like the
Aye.
bouncing off each other
Aye.
does make it a little bit more.
Aye.
No, I
Aye.
feel
It feels
like
less dense.
You're
You
pretty
do
much
better
better.
without me. She's like, I'm breaking up the man.
without her interrupting.
Drink Amanda's having to, with recent Material Girls, Amanda keeps having to go by with Susan. This is a comedy podcast. Let's keep bringing it.
No, I'm worse.
I know it's took a turn.
But listen, the pipeline comedian to political prisoner pipeline is very real.
Merging them both.
Aye, and look, political comedy's hardly new, but you're leaning more into the politics, I'd say, of it.
Aye, but it's daft politics.
Aye. No, I really
It's
love.
not anything.
So I've seen a bit. I don't know if see the kind of PowerPoint thing you did
Aye.
before. Is that part of the new show? Mm-hmm. So I've seen a bit of it, and it is very, very funny and very good. So I
Aye,
would
it's no
recommend.
depressing. It's
No.
fine. And I'm
Aye,
not going to
sorry,
do
I'm
that.
really bad
I'm not
marked
doing
at
that thing either, where like you make it all serious, like a fringe show. Fuck
Thank
that.
fuck. I'm
Pathos.
so
Aye.
glad that the era.
not a,
Heard of it.
I'm
pathos.
glad that era seems to be dying because it seemed like a thing for a while with Fringe that you get to the 45-minute mark
Aye.
era. We're showing that's when you do something really sad and
Aye.
serious. And it literally became. And I blame everything on Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And sorry if I meet her one day, but I actually did meet her, but I never. Well, she was there. I was at TikTok HQ in London, and she was beside me because they made her the ambassador of the Fringe, and everyone was going up to her and being like, "You saved my life" and all that. And I thought, there's nothing I can say to her right now that will. I always think that with famous people. I'm
Aye.
like, there's nothing
They
I can
don't
say to
want
you.
to hear
No,
it.
I
that you
actually
want to
have
hear.
no desire to really meet famous people because I just feel like what part of me would come across the way I wish to come across,
Aye,
and what
no,
part of them would come across the way
Aye.
they wish to probably.
Aye,
And the
all-
minute you hear about the Epstein files,
I know you're
Yeah,
like,
I
maybe
want
stop
that
making
smoke.
pals with any cunt.
No
Actually,
pals ever, and no emails.
No,
Do not send any emails.
No. It's amazing to me with that how much people were sending emails.
They
I know
were
that sounds
saying
stupid,
everything
but-
they wanted to say. It was crazy.
which led me to believe that this was all happening like in the early 90s or something.
Aye,
That's what
when
I thought. I know
email
it's been
was
going
a-
on, but
Like
Ah.
quite a new.
I thought it was happening when the only thing you could do is email.
They need to pull out their BBMs.
that's
But it wasn't happening.
see what was going
they
on over
probably did
there.
have BlackBerry business.
But why did children have Blackberries when you think
I
about
did.
it?
I
Did
did.
you?
I
Yeah,
never
I've
had
had
a black.
sex.
I never
never-
had a BlackBerry.
No,
I
I never
loved
either.
them.
I remember when they were popular at school. I didn't have one. Then I got a Motorola Razor, pink one, and I
Oh.
felt safe and
I love
I had
included.
a Nokia. Were they the same
No.
era?
Betty Techo.
So before.
No.
My
Um,
sister
Nokias
had
were
a
before?
No, that's probably the same either as a Motorola a Razor.
Oh,
but
because then it was
Right.
the BlackBerry, then it was the iPhone.
Aye,
wasn't
aye.
it?
Yeah.
So BlackBerry was
Aye.
the last thing we had before everyone had an iPhone, and I loved mine because I felt like because it was like a business person's phone.
businessman.
I just loved. But before, I think you didn't have a QWERTY keyboard before, like on your phone. Think about that.
Yeah,
you had to do
true.
3 buttons to do. Who
Aye.
remembers that at phones?
Aye.
I had a
phones.
joke about that, like arguing with somebody on a Nokia.
It's making noise while you do it.
Fuck it, my thumb's too.
I'm so glad I never done that because that would. But actually, I would have been
Sending
freer.
paragraphs.
And the way you used to, I didn't know there was an era where people just said numbers for words like so like I love you was like 143 or something just
What?
because it was
When?
I
What?
No, I didn't.
Who did that?
I
just
don't
because it was too long to type
When
it.
Morse code is your love language.
That's so lazy. I love you.
Aye,
You
143.
don't. You clearly don't.
Aye.
If you can't.
yeah, you absolutely do
You do
not.
not. If you can't.
I want to be freed from texting people, so I think we should go back to that actually. Because thinking you're about to say something, you go, I can't be fucked.
Aye, and then it was also like cost you money to text people as
Aye,
well.
she wanted to.
Well,
That
you
was
know what
better.
though? That's what I was going to say. That would mean that your texts were a lot more intentional because you're like,
Yeah.
is this literally
Aye.
worth
And
10p?
Crucial.
Aye.
As much as I've had the
crucial.
time, I'd say I've had some of the best days of my life in a group chat, which is an insane thing to say, but it's true. But but I do think, actually, imagine it was costing us every time. And
Yeah,
it
it is.
is. Not
It's costing
money, but it's costing
your
us up here.
time.
Wow.
It's
Really
costing
is.
your
Yeah.
time.
That is.
But if it cost us money to send a message in the group chat, how much we would just get on
No,
with our
because I
lives.
am like a triple texter. Like I would say
Oh,
everything in
aye.
bursts.
I wish I
Aye,
would
so
just
do I.
save it.
Yeah,
But I think it makes you look more like, now when you text somebody, like the way you maybe text someone regular, it's somebody new. Like I'll text somebody and like send 12 messages in a row, and I'll be like, right, that's too much. Like they'll open their phone and they'll be like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
I'm
It's
working
mine.
on trying to appear less frantic.
Oh yeah.
But like today when I sent 3 voice notes that were all completely conflicting information about me arriving here,
but
and
then
then
you
afterwards,
apologise for it.
yeah, because
So
I
you
just thought
shouldn't have.
that's coming across manic. I should just get my plan correct and let people know, and they don't have to be privy to every single thought I've had in the last 2.5
I know,
minutes.
and one of our
But that's-
do you let you? Oh yeah, we were actually voice
Are you
noting
as voice
yesterday.
noters?
Are you, Susan, a voice noter?
Aye, but I've turned something off on my phone and I can't voice note the now. Like I
Need.
don't know what I've
I
done.
need that.
Like
Aye.
a security.
I
a
think
security
maybe you just
thing.
need to give permission again in your
Aye,
settings
but
to
I
get the
can't
mic.
be asking into
Aye.
change the settings.
It should let you do it with one click, and it's 3.
I
I'm
tried
not-
to phone her the other night. She was like, I can't answer because my settings. And I was like, all right, just say you hate me. It's
Aye.
fine. You don't want to talk.
Oh, you don't want to be. I'm thinking you're getting tinfoil hat about it. You're
I
like,
was like, she's
don't,
been
you're like,
bugged
don't phone
again.
me. No, but that's not
She's
even
like, Amanda, are
tinfoil
you
hat.
wearing a wire when she comes to visit in the
She can't
afternoon?
trust everybody.
She's like, get your clothes up. Sometimes
Tony Soprano style.
Sometimes when I'm in Susan Suso, I'm like, and I'll say something, I'll be like,
Yeah.
I know, but they could have bugged
I
him.
know,
By the way,
but you
I know.
As the older you get, the
Google
less.
Home.
Oh,
Oh,
aye,
they came in
get them to hell.
raided. They raided my house when I was in the jail, and I'm like, they didn't like.
Put a wee
Do you know
something
what
there.
it is as well? Like when I get in, nothing had been moved at all. So I was
See,
like,
that
did
actually
they
makes
raid
me
it?
feel sick
I
because you
know.
came in there
I
and
would just
violated
move.
my space and then you put it back there to dupe
See,
me.
like honestly, I was like, did they raid here or did they just put bugs in here?
aye,
And
but
do you know-
they took our podcast memory cards.
Oh,
All the
really?
pure hours of footage of your
You're
podcast.
sitting going, fucking hell, I need to watch this material, girl, for 60
That's
Super fun.
They'll come to your show. They'll be front row. They're probably listening. Right?
and then escort you out after.
But do you know, do you know, I think do you think the older you get, though, you go, see all that stuff, you'd see people on Facebook and they just often were like big stoners and you'd be like, you need to stop with all the fucking
Oh, with the
conspiracy
Pizzagate and all
theories
that.
and everything.
I'm
But now I'm
there.
like, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I'm
getting
there.
it.
So
Aye.
I was actually in to Lorenzo before we started today. I was like, see now, my third eye's open. It can't be shut. Like that's it. I'm
I
with
say it all
them.
the time. That boy that I knew when I was younger posted on, he's like pure like that. He posted on Facebook, everybody wake up, stop using shampoo. He's like, you should wash your hair with distilled rainwater only. He was like that. He said the clue is in the name, shampoo. And I went, hold on.
Is he wrong though?
He's got a point.
Is
He's
he
actually got a
wrong?
point. Shampoo.
Shampoo.
It's a sham,
Sham.
and it's full of shit.
Poo.
And I thought,
Oh, I
hold
didn't
on.
clock on to the second part.
Poo.
I just thought of the sham
Sham.
element
So
and then
did I.
left it at that.
Shampoo.
Yeah,
Think about it.
I go 6.
Right. There's a lot of things, and I would, especially with your experience that you've had last year, like I would be like, you should be more paranoid.
I like.
Yeah, I don't want to be paranoid, but it's hard.
I'm
gotta
so
be
paranoid.
Are you?
I'm the most paranoid.
And
There's never
we
a-
are. You're a fellow. Me and you are OCD baddies. So
Oh,
we
you OCD,
we had
no?
paranoia from the.
I've been
from the
paranoid
get-go.
since I could think.
Do you know what? One of my favourite things about Amanda's show was the one. What is it called? What are you thinking about? Aye, that one. And there's a bit where Amanda asks people what their worst intrusive thought is and to write them down. And it's so funny because it's the whole thing with OCD of people that go, I'm so OCD, like, oh, my intrusive thoughts, I was going to get a bob. No, whoa, that was not. Kendra said she was getting a bob earlier. I mean, and then I don't mean like that. I mean, because you didn't frame
Yeah,
it like
that's
that. You know
not
what
an
I mean?
intrusive thought to me.
Aye.
When people are like, oh my God, intrusive thought 1, I've just dyed my hair blue, like things like that. And you're like, see if you had the intrusive thoughts. Like, I seen someone else just saying, like, your OCD makes you want to get, like buy a new car. My OCD makes me wonder if I'm in the Epstein
I've
files.
seen that one going
Like,
quite a lot.
It's like people don't understand it. And what I liked about your show is because it is something people deal with so individually, and you're like in your head and you're going, I'm fucking insane, and then when you speak to literally one other person that has it, you go, oh,
who thinks this,
aye,
and
it
then
makes
you
so much
realise,
sense.
No,
I was really lucky that I had 2 pals that I could speak to instantly that I didn't even know they were experiencing that, and they're going, oh, guy, I've had that thought. Oh, I've had that one. You go, oh, really? I've literally been like
I did
thinking of
torture
this. But in Amanda's show, when you ask people in the audience to submit one,
Did they do it willingly?
they
Every
were
day,
always
That's
good.
good. Power of persuasion.
And I think
What
there's
was your
something about that room. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, no, you go. You
I
go
was just
ahead.
going to say there's something about being in the room that makes people a bit like, fuck it.
Open.
Aye.
Okay.
What was your favourite response to that?
Some woman's. Somebody at the show, Paul, was it?
Is it the one I'm
Somebody
thinking
wrote, throw my baby on the balcony at Bray Head.
I told you, I was about to, the reason I brought that up is because I was going to tell that exact story because it's a lassie I know. And I didn't know it at the time.
Bray Head specifically.
Aye, she's my
So
pal
specific.
Emma's
Aye.
sister.
Actually,
Right?
was
Not
te-
just any balcony.
I was
that
texting her the other
balcony.
day, and she was saying, she reached out to me the other day to ask me about something, right? And she opened with, I still had her number saved to when I met her, right?
She opened with,
And she opens with,
Hiya.
hi, it's so and so. I'm the one who said she would throw her baby over the balcony at Bray Head laughing. And I went, I remember who you are, but thank you for reminding me. It's so funny. But she genuinely said that her intrusive thought was that I would drop my newborn baby over throw it over the banister at Bray Head.
But you know
It's
what,
so
though? I
funny.
was actually reading a book recently about like a woman who, it was like a kind of biography, but also like fictional at the same time. And that is not to dampen the vibe of the baby being thrown off the balcony at Bray Head. But I think that I'm not a mum myself, but I know that a lot of mothers speak about suddenly having really intrusive thoughts when they have a child and then feeling such guilt about them.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's like the one thing that everybody would push shame onto you for,
Oh,
for
aye.
having any
Aye.
sort of negative
That's
thought.
what
And I'm really
mine's was.
fascinated
Aye.
by that, like, because I could imagine myself being a bit like that if I did have a child.
Mine's was like just when my son was like 3 or 4, just was like, you're gonna murder him. You're
Aye,
gonna
it's-
ram a big knife. I used to look knives up and all that. And
That's-
Really?
It's so
Aye.
common.
But you know what it is, though? It's hard as well, I think, like as a woman, because there's such a expectation put on the mother, especially, to be that archetype.
Aye.
And if you did anything or put your child in any sort of accidental or otherwise danger, you would be like the most evil. Not
Evil
to try and
thing ever.
validate your fears, but you would be a fucking bitch.
Aye.
But you know what I
Aye,
mean?
it's-
Like I can so imagine feeling that
it was
way.
pure. It was so scary.
Did that like how do you think it kind of like petered off, or how long do you think that continued?
Oh no, it was like 8 months. Like I was like really unwell, like pure vomiting every day because I was just like, these thoughts are so scary, and I was like, I'm gonna kill myself.
Aye.
And I had to go to the doctor and
Don't
be
know why I
like,
laughed at that.
Susan laughed and I went, aye.
No, sorry.
Did that start
You
when
never. I've been reading, like-
when you became a mum, or did you already have?
I
Like,
think now thinking back, I've always had OCD. I remember being like 6 and being on holiday and thinking all my family were asleep and the window at our hotel room was open, and I just kept thinking, somebody's going to throw a bomb in here. Like, lying awake at 6,
see-
like, how am I going to defuse this
See, once
bomb?
you realise
I was to say that.
when you realise you have it and you can trace it back, I did the same thing and look at my childhood and I go, sorry, I always go, there's so many things that I'm like, oh my God.
That was OCD.
But then also
Aye.
there's things when people go, oh, I did that, and then they think, oh, maybe I have it. But the difference I've noticed is like having compulsions that make you
Aye.
try and avoid the thought. That's how they diagnose it. But even though they have like pure OCD, which is just thoughts that are create your compulsion, but it's very complicated.
I used to, and see if I fancied somebody. Like I would do this thing, like they're not going to text me back unless I sit my phone like at a certain place in my room or whatever. like pure
Need to
mad
start
things
doing
like
that.
that. Like it was just
But
like,
see, that's the thing is in your head. It's. I was literally speaking to someone about this yesterday. It's so ridiculous when you say the things out loud, but in your head, it's the realest thing in history.
I'm like, well, that's it.
It's
That's
crazy.
My favourite one though was at the Fringe. A woman. It was my last show. I remember it was my last show, and this woman wrote that she would. And my auntie was at the show. Right, my auntie has like just. She's just so funny. She'll just laugh like so
The
inappropriately,
perfume
but like
giver.
innocently. No, her big sister, right? And this woman was saying, "Oh, I used to cycle home along the canal. You know, like the canal, like the one through Kirkintilloch and Maryhill and what's that called?
Don't
The
know.
canal."
Fuck
it comes
knows.
out like
I
into
can
town
know.
almost.
Aye,
Yeah.
I mean-
Uh-huh.
So she would cycle home on that canal, and then when she'd get home, she'd think, oh no, I've knocked an old person into the canal. And then she would say to her husband, and then she would make her
That's
husband...
a very common one.
She would make her husband walk up and down the canal searching for a body like every night. And then I was like, that's amazing. And my auntie was like, oh! It's like literally losing her mind.
It's a formal OCD. It's what is it? Hit
Old
and run
people.
OCD.
Hit and run OCD. Aye, it's about loads
my
of things.
Pal Hayley Ellis is a comedian, and she's got a bit in her show where she took her daughter to the safari park and then thought that she'd hurt a camel with a motor.
Sorry, that one's so good because how could you forget if you hit a camel?
No. But she
I
was
know it's-
literally like she
She was
thought
like,
she'd
I've
like
done
hurt
it.
a camel.
The easiest thing is I noticed for it with me was as soon as a thought starts with what if.
Aye,
Let's
no,
just
what if?
let's just not get any meaning because what if this happened? What if what?
I
you
watched
can't do
that.
it.
That's propaganda.
I watched a documentary and it was this woman that's no funny, but because it pure destroys your life OCD.
Oh,
but
aye.
her one was she thought she was putting people in the bin. She thought like she'd be like walking past people
Picking
and then
them up.
she'd have to
Like,
she'd have to go like see just with her boyfriend and then she's like, did I put that person in the bin? And
Sorry, that's my dream
do you
type
know what?
of
That's
OCD
good
to
because
have.
that's quite an easy one to disprove
Aye.
quite fast.
I
Just
know,
open
but
the
she was
lid.
constantly
But then she would spend all day going,
Yeah.
aye.
No,
And her
aye,
boyfriend
that's
The
dumped
POV
her.
of the bin would be so
searching
good.
the canal.
Her boyfriend dumped her because he was just like,
Aye,
I'm
fair.
sick of
But you
telling
would
you
be
that you know.
frazzled. I know there is other
Aye.
people involved.
aye.
A big one for me when it is, and it still is sometimes, is what if I just lose my mind? I remember
That's
being
my
like
biggest one.
17. That's when this is when I was like, this is when my mental illness was like peaking. Like I was like insanely mentally
Aye.
ill to the point that it was so funny. My sister had a boyfriend in a room, and just in my head I was like, I'm schizophrenic. And I went into my sister's room and I was like, Kaylee, I need to use your laptop. And she was like, no, get out of my room. Like, obviously, pure embarrassed because I was like, in the
She's trying
mental
to make her
illness.
boyfriend, and you're like,
I was like, please.
checking the walls for padding.
Actually, like, please let me use your laptop. She was like, why? And I was like, I am schizophrenic and I need to look up the symptoms. And she was like, get out of my room. And then I was like, please.
Worst vibe when trying to get your whole ever.
I was like, please take me to Leverdale. Please take me to Leverdale.
What a wee shame.
I know, right? I'm literally begging. And she was like, get out of my room. Like, and then I left the room, and then like half an hour later, I was like, I'm fine now.
I just needed that, and I'm all good now.
I was like, hey guys, sorry about an hour ago. Thanks for not giving me your because see if she'd have gave me the laptop, I'd have been like, I've got that.
Yeah, she
That's the
actually
problem.
did you a
I would have
favour.
been
She
in
cut you
Leverdale. Like
off.
I would have drove
Right.
myself. I don't
That's
know,
funny
but
because
I
that
would have
was
taken
my
myself to Leverdale.
that was my first main theme. They call it your theme. Was for me was that thinking. I was like, what if I just lose my mind? And I was this constant thought. I was like, what if I have schizophrenia? And I was like, and because the nature of your like racing thoughts or whatever and all this anxiety, you go, well, it's making sense. It sounds like I'm already halfway there because I'm so
Aye.
anxious.
Aye.
And I remember saying it, like no saying it to Andy for ages, but just Googling stuff. Like, and this was in
Incessantly.
2020, so I was
Go to the library.
How funny is me and Susan sitting here like the resident non-mental health issue havers? We're
I know,
like,
sorry, let's switch up.
I was trying to say, like, do you pure attract mental people? Do you?
What does that say about you?
I think yes, I would agree. Like probably more so, not now so much, but probably more
But like
so
nice
in the past.
mental people.
Yeah, nice but not so nice.
But do you know what it is?
I get both.
What I would say about both of you
Aye,
is this,
actually, aye.
Yeah.
that probably happens because you probably give it a vibe which is a non-judgmental vibe.
Do you
And
think that's
aye,
it?
absolutely. I think that's what you get. Susan sitting there going, nah.
There was a phase. There was a
Totally
phase in
No,
my
but like,
life
if
where
I-
like
So
If Amanda told you that or I told you that, you
Aye.
would never first
yeah,
thing would
yeah,
be like,
I wouldn't run away
you-
scared.
Yeah, and you would just, even if you didn't get it, you would try and get
I would
it.
level
Aye.
with it. Yeah,
Aye.
if I can't empathise, you can sympathise.
Aye, so
but there
that's-
was a period in my life like where like back to back, I would say romantically, every single man that seemed to be interested to any level with me were all at the very least quirky.
Quirky is
At the very least,
Yeah.
quirky. Like there was not one of them that you would just be like.
But I don't think that's to do with you. I think that's to do with the poor quality of man out there.
Do you think?
Aye. but
Possibly,
obviously
aye.
you would rather
But it
go with
wasn't
a
even
quirky.
like not all of them were like unkind or that. They were all just a bit like right.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like what's going on over there? They'd all have a hang. Do
specific
you know what I
thing.
mean?
Yeah, they had a.
They all had a thing.
But do you know
like,
what? That I think that all just lent itself to an era of being single because it fit really well that all these guys had a very specific thing that could give them a nickname in our group chat.
Yes, this
Like
is
so,
true,
like
this
now
is
when
true.
it's like you refer to any love interest your pal says like specifically something to the point you don't actually know what their name was.
Aye.
Yeah.
You're like, what was his actual
Aye.
name again?
But no, I do understand where you're coming from. But I think
Aye.
I attract people that. Well, I think that most people that I know have something going on with. We all have something
Aye.
going
Aye.
on with. Do you know what I mean?
Particularly like OCD people are, I don't know, I'm like
You're
pure
sick of them.
Piper OCD.
You're
Do
bringing
you
them
think
all
there's
along.
something about you that provides like a calm and
Maybe
A calming
my
kind
sister
of
had it as well, so
Aye, so
maybe
that-
I don't know.
antidote to the vibe?
So when actually did you meet and become friends? What's your story?
When did we meet?
We met in
No, you said that I was a bitch to you.
That always happens to me. Sorry.
I feel like we share
We should-
similar.
Why don't you do who agrees I'll do material girl? I'll do a man. I'll do material
That is
girl.
a fabled one for me, but I'll let you continue.
Well,
Aye.
maybe not a bitch, but I was just like, all right.
Wish you were in an open spot. I
It was
like,
November. She was pure waited till she seen how funny I was before she like gave me any attention.
People did
No.
do that though.
They did do
no,
that.
no. Like,
Me?
I
I really like them.
actually did do that, but I didn't do that with
No,
you.
I'm kidding on, right? So it was November 2021 and it was
Fuck's sake.
got really
It
good
was
the
4
day and
p.m.
it was. We were at a gig at Van Winkle.
Aye.
And I was like, oh, a woman's on the bill, like pure buzzing. And then I walked in and Susan was sitting with her jacket up like that.
You always have a jacket on.
It was right up like that and she was just pure, all right. I was pure, hiya. And she was just sitting there like that.
That's how she's always doing it.
All right. And I was like, all right, cool. But I was also just kind of like,
No, I remember
No.
being stressed out at that gig because I was going to another gig after it and I was just pure, like, I just didn't want to be there.
Aye,
aye.
it's often the way.
And also, it was dead funny because a woman pure
Oh, that
stormed
woman.
out. Well, so Susan was opening and she got up and I was like, she's funny or whatever. But Susan made like a bald joke and a woman with like a full head of hair got up and was like, what's funny about a bald person?
Me as hell. I'm sure it was probably me.
No, it was a joke about being
Hatfish.
hatfished.
I know the
on,
joke.
So,
It's
like,
a good one. I like
even,
it.
Aye, and it's not even like the punchline isn't bald people, it's just about the deceit or
Men
whatever.
catfishing.
Yes.
Whoa! No,
Take
Lorenzo
it off,
isn't. Lorenzo
Lorenzo
isn't
Howard.
bald.
But honestly, when she's, because I always felt funny about doing that joke anyway, because I was like, that is a bit shite, but fuck it.
No, listen. I think it's warranted.
But then I
think-
thought she was going to say something about like cancer
Aye.
Oh,
or
yeah.
like alopecia.
Uh-huh.
Or,
Aye.
do you know what I mean? And I was like, oh fuck, like, but she was just pure. My
No.
husband and my uncle are both bald.
Said
No,
every
what
con.
happened was not. She was sitting next to a bald guy, and she stormed out, and you went, "Are you with her?" And he went, "No." And our pal stayed and was like, "Sorry about her," and she was pure mad with it. And then you came off, and then you were sitting there, and you went, "What if it's about cancer or something?" And I was like,
No, because she definitely says to be my
"She
uncle
left."
and my.
No, she came back. No, she came back, and CMB was headline, and he said, "What did you leave for?" And you were
Is
like,
that when she
"You
said
fuck it?" Aye, and then she went, "Oh, my dad and my brother are bald," and he was like, "Grow up."
Come on.
My dad and my brother both, aka every person in the
I know,
world.
literally.
That's
What?
so funny.
She was so offended.
I feel
and
like
it was
there's certain categories of people that are still like maybe one day it's going to become like this is going to come back to haunt me. Like it will
What,
be
the
like I'll
bald
be
thing?
cancelled for it. But like ginger people, specky people, bald people, they're all
Free
up for grabs.
Aye.
Bald
They
men,
are,
sorry,
aren't
bald
they?
men.
Bald men, yeah, they are.
Oh,
You're
absolutely.
right. Uh-huh.
That's just a given with society. Like,
Aye, and I'm ginger
and
as
you're
best.
ginger.
I
Aye.
do think that I would never. You know what? I would never make a joke about ginger people because I'm not even saying this to be a sook to ginger people. We've got one on
I'd
them now.
love to be ginger.
I'm just like I don't actually see what is the joke.
Aye,
though. Like, I'm not
it's-
even trying to be like.
I don't
Why
get
is that
it
funny?
either.
What is the? I don't find it
I
funny.
do like saying ginger.
Ginger because it rolls off the
Aye,
tongue.
and it's nice.
Or
But-
ginger pubes.
Aye, ginger pubes is good.
Fanta
I
pads.
wonder if there's any new patter about ginger people though.
No, it's
Or
quite
Waynes?
dated.
To me, it feels very dated, and I
Aye,
just
but like
don't-
maybe the Waynes, what are they saying
Aye,
to ginger
what they
people
say to
these
ginger
days?
people? Is it still fire pubes?
That
and
must
all
be
that?
a good insight.
Fanta
I was-
What was it like?
Fire
What
pubes
was
is
it?
shite.
Paris Hilton said to
Fire
Lindsay
pubes.
Lohan.
Oh, what was it? It was a good one as well. Well, not a good one.
Was
We
it
don't
fire
find them funny.
crotch or something?
Fire crotch.
Glenn, so do you
She
feel
called it, like,
comfortable
crotch or something.
Googling
Flame
fire
crotch.
crotch? Google Paris Hilton.
Fire
Was it
crotch.
about Lindsay Lohan's pubes?
Aye.
Yeah, she's.
That'll get
Google
you something.
Paris Hilton, Lindsay
When,
Lohan. pube.
when Lorenzo's found to be Googling Lindsay Lohan's pubes on his work computer.
Sorry, I made you do that.
None.
Fire
crotch. There we go.
Fire crotch.
The year of the fire crotch.
Episode
Yeah,
title.
perfect.
The year of the fire crotch. That is good. That's actually something you would come up with.
Yeah, I like that one
Do you know what? I
actually.
haven't seen a lot of affinities we used to, and
know,
a
I'm
lot of
feeling the
affinities we used. I
connection.
really think there's a swap due.
Yeah, that-
No, because you need the balance.
Aye, that the yin and
find-
the yang.
Used to just be
Aye,
sitting like,
Aye, true.
I'm going to
podcast from Leopardale.
When
give me a
people's-
beer blocker, quick.
when me and Amanda's podcast gets cancelled because people keep killing themselves. People are going,
the amount,
actually, I have that rang with me as well.
the
Fuck.
amount of people institutionalised, like
Honestly-
souls by 700%.
I was thinking a good podcast idea would be if you could like write your suicide note and then. Because I saw this clip, right? And then we'll just sit and like analyse our suicide
Aye.
notes. But I saw this
13
clip,
reasons.
right? I saw this clip. It was like this Oxfordy woman. She was like looking at ones for like the 18th century. So apparently, like back in the day in the Victorian times, suicide notes were very much blaming people.
Oh, nice.
Aye, so
need to
you're
bring
the
that
reason
back.
I killed
I
myself.
can imagine that being the vibe.
Aye, but no, it's like, oh, sorry, it's me, it's my fault.
I know, start
that's
pointing the finger
interesting.
again. It's like,
Let's point it back.
it's like that 13 Reasons Why show where she's just like, this person wronged me this. That's what my show's like, basically.
Oh, because it's about revenge.
It's about people who've wronged me and how I remedied
I
it.
think it's interesting because I think it's a kind of natural feeling. Is it a natural feeling to want revenge? I think it is. Or want
Aye.
to, I don't know,
Justice,
like to
maybe.
blame.
Justice.
Justice.
Yeah, justice is maybe better.
Aye, well, aye. To put
Even in the score.
aye.
Aye.
And you can never really even the score. Everything's
No.
so imbalanced in this life, so we need to try.
Aye.
We need to try
I'm just
harder.
lucky I'm a lazy person and that kind of like usurps my revenge thing. Like I don't really get
But listen,
round
you've
to
done
doing
a
it.
lot based on that because I thought you're not very lazy right now. Where there's some things you were getting up to.
Well, aye.
Aye, so yeah, that involves getting out of the house at least.
And if you put that much effort into that list you've wrote, Susan's got a list on her phone called
aye.
Cunts to Get It Ruined. And it's just like people she hates.
I've actually not added
That's so fucking funny.
but I just never get it round them.
I know. She's just like,
Who's that? Who's on it? No, we can't.
How long
Actually,
is
I
it?
need to have a look. It's pure way down in my nose.
Is it really long? Does
Cunts
it
to
take
get
quite a
it
lot
ruined.
to go on the list, or can it be like minor things?
People are on and off the list.
Oh,
nice.
Like,
right,
sometimes
okay.
I take them off.
Amanda
Yeah.
was on it when you first.
From video.
I have a mental list of that definitely,
Aye.
but writing it down
Write
is
it
good.
down.
And better than that is writing it down physically. And then
Aye.
above that is with a quill.
Of course.
That's medieval
wax
Wales.
seal.
Aye.
Mailing it to yourself.
Oh, I was going to ask you, why do you never do stand up? That's what I meant to ask you earlier on when we were talking about stand up. But
I know people
could
have
see-
asked before. It's one of those things I feel like I've just not gotten round to it, which is bizarre.
Aye.
Maybe I should.
you should.
She's doing
yeah, I
Material
have.
Girl.
Paul has
Come and do
encouraged
Material
me.
Girl.
Do you think I should?
Aye.
It's one of
And
those
then
ones where
it'll go terribly and you'll
And it's-
fucking... we backstage. You'll kill yourself. You'll write a
I
suicide
end up
note.
on Susan's list.
But I just think 5 minutes is 5 minutes, regardless if it's shite or
I
alright
know.
or
Do you
amazing.
know what? It's so,
Aye.
it's
5
so
minutes
strange.
of your life.
See, because a story or something that I could lead with never doesn't immediately pop into my head. I'm just like, oh, think about that another day,
Aye.
and then
Aye.
another day hasn't came so
I
far.
always say to you, like, I don't, like, also you can just know when to do it. Like, that's fine. Like,
Aye.
because I've said this to you for years. I'm like, just do
Aye,
it. And then at one
actually-
point, I actually said to you recently, I think it was like last year, I was like, look, this is the last time I'm going to say it to you, which it hasn't been. But I've been like, this last time I'm going to say it, like, because at the time I was thinking about doing a regular Paul Black and Friends thing, right?
Aye.
And I was like, if I did something like that, you could do it. You could do whatever you want. You could, like, no pressure. Don't need to advertise it, like, whatever. Because the other thing is as well, like, you do have people that follow you and people that, like, engage with you from the podcast and whatever else.
Yeah.
They would think,
and I do
Kendra's-
like to tell a story.
but people would be like,
Aye,
oh,
good
Kendra's doing
storyteller.
stand-up. I want to go see that. And I think that's maybe
Yeah,
the thing
you know
that's...
what I should.
It's maybe
I've
not...
said this about. I've said, you know what I should, and just simply not. But I should.
I will.
Do you know what? I get a bit nervous about the thought of maybe rehearsing jokes, but maybe that's not the way to view
You
it.
don't
But
even
that's-
need to do that.
I know. I think that's
You
what
can
throws
do
me off because
whatever way you
I
want.
would never want to come across rehearsed, but I understand that's part of the craft.
Well,
there
I-
is more like some nights, well, no many, but there are storytelling things now. It's a
Aye,
bit less
just-
cringe than stand up, innit?
And I know,
'Cause
look,
think
stand-up
stand-up's
has
actually
never
a bit
been cool.
cringe.
It's no cool, and I
It
think
isn't
that
cool.
that is, you're a cool person. I think that
Aye.
doesn't fit your vibe in that way.
Thank
but
you.
but you like it. I understand why you might be like, oh, but there is so many ways to
It's
do
not
it.
even that. I feel like, do you know what it is? It's one of those ones where you know you always kind of you think something and you kind of maybe put it to the back
Aye.
of your immediate priorities or what you're immediately doing, but actually life is probably about just being like, if I've had a hunch, honour the hunch and do it. Just
Aye.
so I
And then
probably
find
should.
out
But I
how
would
you
like
feel.
to do it, and I would like to do it in a more female space.
I do.
Genuinely,
Material
I
Girl
think I'd
then.
feel a bit like
Material Girl is the nicest room ever. Like it's
literally
it's like,
bullied Alana and Julie
and they done it.
Wilson. They wanted to do it, and they did it, and it was a pure nice
Yeah, I
day.
wish I'd
Oh, I
came to
missed
that
that
actually
one.
And
because it looked
honestly,
like
because
such a good
Alana
bill.
was expressing so much the same thing you were there
Yeah.
about doing it, and I was like, and I was really proud of her and really shocked that she just was like, right, fuck it, I'm going to do
gotta
it.
do it.
And like, it's it's first of all the two soundest people ever be in a green room with Susan and Amanda.
Yeah, I think I'd
And
feel
then-
quite safe with you, even if Susan did have her hood up.
Aye.
Very
Even
good
if
of
Susan's not talking to you, you know she doesn't hate you, but then you don't. You could
Her
be on the
her
list.
phone might come out and the list might.
I do spend a lot of time in my own head though.
Aye.
Like I'm just having like a conversation with myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I forget like I'm coming across pure rude.
Like
Probably.
a pure cow.
I have thought about this as well, but like, see if you're like a stand-up, like I was going to say names there, but I won't. But like now, because like when I first started, I was like, these like older stand-ups are pure rude. They don't talk
Aye.
to you, and they're pure.
Aye.
And then when you're doing it for a few years, you start to understand.
You become
What
like
age
Why?
were you when
Aye.
you started?
Oh, I was late to it, like 34 or something like that. Aye. So, like,
What age are
Did you
now?
just have the urge and then
42.
you just honoured it?
what's that?
Did you just have the urge and then you just honoured it?
No, I started off like writing comedy.
No, I never had that.
No, I never.
Never been
Still don't. I started off writing comedy, and then I got on a BBC writers' room where we had to do sketches, right? And I was going to write sketches, but then I could never afford to pay people to be in the sketches, so then I started being in the sketches, and then I was like, fuck it, might as well just like do stand up as well, just add that on, because you can't really make a career out of just being a
One
writer.
thing.
No way.
because that's kind
Money.
of that's kind
Aye.
of what I've been grappling with since I started writing anything, is like the on-off nature, and that's why I've always worked still
Aye.
full time in that, because I've
Aye.
never been able to really take the plunge.
And that's
Aye.
what I said to you before about stand up. I'm
but
like,
is it
even
with-
if
aye,
it's
exactly.
some passive income, and if you like,
Aye.
like, because that is same with me. Like, I never went. I actually never in my life had the thought I would love to do stand-up.
No, I never
Me
do
neither.
And
that.
it's just, I think there's loads
But then
of
when
us
I
like that.
see a stand up, like when I see people like you or certain other people, I'm like, I love that. That looks like it would feel great
It is
to
fun.
like have that outlet.
Aye.
Do you know what I
Sometimes
mean?
it's the worst thing in the world, and sometimes it's amazing.
It's
like, I
nice
think
when
that,
you get like a nice audience and you just feel like they're your pals.
and see, there obviously is always times where you're like, I did a few weeks ago gigs in Edinburgh, like the Friday and the Saturday at the Stand, and the Friday I'm not exaggerating when I say it was one of the worst gigs I've ever done in my life. It was
really?
just flop after flop. It probably went now that way. It's never as bad
Were you the only
as
band
you
that
thought
was
it was.
bad?
Aye, and I
Oh
was
my
I was
That's
the
worse.
headliner. So it was actually horrendous.
That happens to everybody,
But it wasn't awful. Like I actually got the footage back at the other day, and I was like, oh my god, like people were laughing all the way through.
Aye.
I just
Aye.
was like,
You're like, where's my standing ovation? I've no had
but
8
genuinely,
applause
I
breaks.
was like, like this bit, like when you compare it to something else, and I'd done Glasgow the week before, and Glasgow's obviously always the best audience.
Aye.
And it's like with Edinburgh, it's always a bit of a hit and
It
miss.
can be weird.
Aye, and so like the Friday night in Edinburgh, I was like, it was just all right. It wasn't a disaster. It was all right, but I was like, I was definitely the worst received of the night, I would say, and I was the headliner.
They
which is
just
not a good look for
immediately
MD.
disliked you.
Aye.
Sometimes they just decide that they don't
Aye.
like you.
I know for
and
the
it spreads
get-go.
around the room.
Aye, and it does, because it's also
Aye.
like I was talking about this earlier, but it's like when you're in the cinema, like or you're somewhere where anywhere where you're in a big group consuming some sort of art, it's like if the other people aren't reacting how you feel, you
That
don't
you
react
feel a bit
that way.
hesitant or
Aye.
something.
It's a
Yeah.
self-conscious thing.
Aye, and nobody wants to
Aye.
laugh when nobody else is laughing,
Aye.
so it's like
Aye.
there
And
was
you're-
people
everyone
laughing.
But
influences
there
each
are
other.
people that there are people that they just laugh, even though their whole room's silent.
Aye.
I like that.
And
I
I'm
need
like,
that.
good
I'm
on
like,
you.
good for you. You have
You
so
know
much
you're in
fun.
mind.
Sometimes
Aye.
I see people going like this. And I go,
Don't cover your mouth.
don't you dare.
Do you know what I was howling? And the next day after I did that, I did the exact same set and it did really well. And it's
Aye.
like you don't know. But once I was at Material Girl, the one Alana and Jules did, and it was so funny because there was a guy who was sitting in the front row. Do you remember this one that with his arms crossed the entire time? This one actually you were too hungover to go.
Sorry.
Sorry if it wasn't your hungover one.
That's something I feel like I was
No, you were
It was the
you
day
were at a
after Larry
wedding.
Dean's
Oh,
wedding.
Aye,
Aye,
that's what it was.
wedding.
And you
I
were
was just
and
swigging a bottle of
And
gin.
I was sweating down to my arse. Remember, it was like the biggest sweat patches you've ever seen.
And you were hungover as well doing it, and it
Aye.
was so funny because I was just watching you host, and I was like, "This is so funny," because you were just like,
I had Crocs on.
Aye.
I couldn't even, was too hungover to put shoes on. I was like, sorry, everybody.
But there was a guy at the front row, right, and he was sitting with his arms folded, entire show, never cracked a smile, and I was like. Afterwards, I was like, "What was his fucking problem? Why would you sit in the front row and know you?"
Yeah,
like,
sure,
just
there's
smile.
other places for you to be.
It was a couple, actually, a guy and a woman, and then they came up. Was it you? They came up to you
Aye,
afterwards.
they were my neighbours. They used to be my neighbours.
Oh fuck!
And they were like, what a brilliant day.
Aye, and they were like, "We really enjoyed that. Honestly, that was the most I've enjoyed
people
being at the
maybe
night."
just
Aye,
express
sometimes
themselves
people are
differently.
just like-
yeah.
Aye, actually, I
does-
spoke
Love this.
because Elaine C. Smith was on this talking about that of when she did her show. She was like, she realised someone spoke to her about when she started in theatre about the way that some people have a reaction, but they're really listening to you,
Aye.
so therefore they're no reaction.
Yeah,
So
uh-huh.
it looks like they're pure
And they're
to
like,
face, but they
Aye.
actually are really interested in what you're saying.
So when I do stand up, if there's
Yeah.
loads of people just sitting with their arms crossed, they're just deep in
They're
thought.
fucking
And I'm
so
gonna-
in it. They're loving it.
I'm going to say what I always say: there is nothing funnier than dying on your arse. And
I
see, when
mean,
you
really,
when
aye.
you accept that,
Yeah, your
it's
ego
fun.
just
Not that you will, you
disappears.
definitely won't. But see, when you do it, it's so funny.
a few weeks ago, I was doing like a Sunday night gig in Edinburgh, and like the first show was good. The second show, we all just ate shit, and I was
Aye.
third on, and I was like, I can't wait to get up there because it was so fucking funny. Like it was just crickets,
Aye, the pressure's
pure
gone.
crickets, and you're just like, and so I was saying like my pure jokes, and then I was going, like I was pure laughing. I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, and the audience were like, and it was just
Do you
so.
know what was
There is
funny?
something so freeing about
I
just.
did when you did the material. You know, what is it? Once a year you do material guy,
Aye.
and I was doing it the most recent one. Was
Aye,
that, was that what
November.
it was? Aye. And it was a quieter gig than it had been recently, and I didn't realise because now when you don't go out to the stage until you go out to it,
Aye.
and I don't know why I thought that it was much busier, and I go out, and it's even if it's a wee bit quieter, even if you're doing well, it's still hard to get like a big
Aye.
reaction and it's a Sunday afternoon, and I remember straight away being like, oh. And so I got out there and see when you have that feeling, it's hard to work back. Like I feel like your gig, you know how it's going to go, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you really can pull things back. But I normally feel like first 5 minutes, how it's going, that's how it's going.
You really need to work.
And I don't want to. I don't want
You
to
need to
work.
put work in.
You're like, fine, don't
I
like
think
me.
that's why I gravitate to your words just much, even though he's a very hard worker and have achieved so much. And I'm not saying that, but I'm like, I think it's our attitude towards it. It's like, you know, some people are just very
They
like,
really want
this is my fucking life. They're like, I grew
my
up.
fucking life.
And they just go, like, they take it so seriously.
That's
which
probably
is
why I've
amazing.
not done stand-up.
But I think
Because that's not
the
my
people I
fucking
enjoy
life.
the most are people that are quite kind of like, well.
Aye.
And maybe
Who
that's
cares?
bad, but
No,
I
it's
cannot.
practicing non-attachment in a way.
Aye, and some people are very like intense about it, or
Aye.
like this is going to be the best fucking hour of my life, and that's probably why we like. I think I would probably be a lot further along if I really
Aye.
cared.
That's it. Like we
No,
always
this
say.
is bad. That's terrible marketing.
That's our issue, though. We all say that.
This
We're
is
like,
a private
I know.
conversation.
I know. I just love us three. See when we did that fundraiser, and it was honestly, it was just my favourite environment ever because it was us and Kim and Elaine Malcolmson. And I was just like, this is brilliant, and it just nobody keeps
Just
a
this.
fuck.
If this was like the green room at every time.
I sat down on a chair for the whole gig. So I was dizzy.
You didn't even
Was
stand
that-
up.
Sorry if this is your first impression of me. I can't even stand up today. My stand up. Because I was sitting down.
You can see Amanda and Susan's shows at the Glasgow Comedy Festival this March, which it is now, I believe, when this
Yes.
episode comes out. It is March. So this month, which we're currently in, we've got anyone else struggling with the work life? No. Fuck no. I'll use one last quick.
Come see my show on the 28th of March at 3:20 p.m. Yes, it is 3:20 p.m. Because
Brilliant.
people have been like, is that really the time it's at? Because
It's a
that's
bit
weird.
random.
Aye, well, let's.
But you need to be there at 3:20, and it's in the Glasgow stand. It's called Anyone Else Struggling with the Work Genocide Balance.
Mine is at 3 p.m, which is much more normal. In the Glasgow stand on Sunday, the 22nd of March. It's called I Did Something Bad, and it is about miscarriage, so maybe don't come if you don't like laughing at that. But it is funny. And can I just say, I only talk about... it's because I've experienced it. I'm not just some...
Yeah, that would be insane. That would be insane.
Imagine that was your
It's not
show.
my special interest. And then I have a work in progress show on the 14th about revenge that's no... Don't even come to that.
No, don't
No.
say that.
How
No.
many people are...
I've got 8 tickets left.
8 tickets left. Come on, I'll be there. Wait, have I
I'll
said
be
this
there.
one?
You know, it's my new one
All right.
about revenge.
Which
I
date?
literally, all I do is ask you if you tell me your show, and I go, have I seen
Have I
that?
seen that?
And you go, no.
No, you saw one show once.
See, because you gig with people all the time, it feels like you've seen their show, and then you go, actually, haven't you?
No.
And then also, what do I want to do in my spare time? Got to stand up?
No.
Fuck's sake.
No,
No, but I will
That
be
would
there.
be weird.
I'll definitely be
Aye.
there.
Oh, right.
So that's
Come on.
that. So everyone come along. Thank you to the amazing,
Thank you,
talented
guys.
Susan and Amanda.
Thanks
for
for having us.
And you can listen to Material Girl podcast, and you can go to Material Girl the last Sunday of every month. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
most of
at
the
the
time.
stand.
Apart from March. So
Apart from March, that's done.
We'll take
But if
that.
you want to see lovely female comedians,
Do it.
comedians, then
Comedians.
uh,
Comedians.
come on down. Well, thank you very much, guys.
Bye.